with Unsilenced on Informa America. I am bringing you today a friend of mine, Dean, and he is a representative, or actually he does have a position on a board with MLK. I want to interview him today about a couple of things that are happening. And so I'm going to introduce you to him, and we're going to be just kind of going over three things today about what's going on in our country and the things that he's working on. We're just two conservatives that are like-minded. We care about what we do. We care about our communities. We care about, you know, the people. We the people for the people. And Dean and I, you know, we're just doing what we can to always bring awareness and education. So I'm going to turn it over to y'all. All right, so everybody meet my friend Dean. Dean, let everybody know what your title is, what you do, what you're all about.
All right, well, I am the Communications and PR Director for the MLK Association of Texas, which is basically a conservative group of African Americans within the Republican Party. And what we're doing is we're trying to get into our communities and make things better for those in our community. We have this idea that, you know, our community has been voting Democrat for the last 60 years and nothing has really changed for them. So it's probably time to kind of give them a more conservative look and business aspect of what we can do for them and helping the community build based off of business. Career-wise, I am an educator. I've been an educator since 2012. This year will pretty much be about my 7th year teaching. I'm originally from Miami, Florida. I taught there for the last 5-6 years. My
Cubans are gonna love you because they are from Miami. Our Informa America. This is where the platform that we use there. The Cubans in Miami are the ones that put this together for us. So thank you.
All right. By the way, my aunt-in-law, she is Cuban descent. She's first-generation American, but she's a first-generation Cuban American. So shout out to all of my Cuban family sitting down there in Little Havana and in Miramar.
Awesome. So, Dean, what are your thoughts today? The Supreme Court came out with a ruling today on Trump's travel ban. What are your thoughts as an African American, as a with you representing MLK? Your viewpoint on this ban might be a little bit different than what it is for us Hispanics, but why don't you tell us about what you think?
Well, with the travel ban, I always tell people the travel ban is one of those issues for the African American community that isn't a big issue just because they're not really banning us because we've been here for so long. So for us, a lot of our family, we've been here, a lot of us, since the 1800s. So it's not really a big issue for us. We do look at it from the standpoint of, many of our people in our community are of Muslim, they have Muslim names now because we have what we call, we have the Brothers of Islam, the Nation of Islam. So people like that, for them, it's kind of an issue because of their last names. And when they think, a lot of people have this thought process that because my last name may be Muhammad or something of that nature, they may kind of target me as maybe I'm here illegally. But for the most part, it's not a big issue. When I think of the travel, as for me and the MLK Association, when we look at the travel ban, we wanted the travel ban to be upheld just because when we think of the good that it can do for our communities and the good that it can do for the American people, it could inadvertently kind of stop a lot of the issues that we have. We don't want to end up, of course, like many of the European nations like France and London, as we've seen in May and June, or early June, with the Ariana Grande concert where a bunch of people were hurt and killed because of radical Islamic terrorism. Heck, we just actually came off of the 1-year anniversary of the post-night shooting where we had just think about that, one guy took 54 people's lives in Orlando. And it's so funny because my family visits Orlando a lot. And I have many friends in the LGBT community who go to that club. and it hurt them because I thought about it as, what if they were there that night? Anything like that could have happened. So when I think of the Muslim ban, I look at it as an American standpoint. We think about a lot of the hate that was pushed with a lot of these Islamic terrorist groups, for one. But I think the travel ban can really be kind of expanded. I think of the countries that's a part of that's listed in the travel ban, and I think it could have been better put together. But as your host said, they actually got the list of names of countries that should be on the ban for the Obama administration. I just figured that this administration would have been better off just having a ban completely of that entire region.
Interesting. That's interesting. Yeah.
So that's my thought process of the travel ban. I mean, you have the Egyptian country, the country of Egypt. You have the country of Saudi Arabia. Those are places where we see ISIS starting to rise in those countries. Especially Egypt. When I visited Egypt in 2008, it was a more moderate country. So when I look at it now, I'm like, between 2008, when I visited, in 2017, it's become a lot more radical. In Egypt, there were moderate Muslims. Women didn't have to put on a hijab. It was like, we are those Muslims who are, we're a little more free than the rest of them. But now that you have this Arab Spring that has popped up after 2008, you have these more radical Muslims who are put into these positions, who are making these more moderate or less radical countries become more radical. With
very good, yeah.
Women showing their faces, freedom of women to walk without a man, them not having to be married or being forced to be married to an older person. You have a 14-year-old young girl being raped, and even
married.
More so being married to a 40-year-old
man.
Like that, to me, that is disgusting. That goes against everything that our country kind of stands for, everything that I feel like the rest of the world should stand for, which is, people having the freedom to do and be who they want to be.
Right. Well, good. I'm glad you bring up those your point of view and how you feel about that, because obviously our president has really tried really hard to try to do the right thing, and he keeps getting a lot of backlash, and and of course everybody tries to fight him on everything he tries to do, and so it's like, I call it the left side. The left side's like completely unhinged with any kind of reasoning, and they have fought him so much on this travel ban that it's like, what for? Because you knew that once it got to the Supreme Court, if you looked at the constitutional right that he had to do that, he clearly had the right to do it, and it's like you wasted all that money and taxpayers' money to fight him
and basically how I see it is, we could have done so much better if they were just willing to work together.
Right.
In Washington.
Right.
My issue is that Washington is so polarized that nobody's willing to work with the other side. And I feel like if you're going to be so against something, why not get up, go to the table, and give your issues and try to work together to make the ban or make this a better thing. Because I'm sure somebody on the left had some great ideas.
Might have, yeah.
That could have helped us all kind of come together
and come up with a great plan that could have been accepted by both people.
But because you have a polarized people, and because you have some people on the left that are just like, I'm not doing anything with this president, it doesn't hurt them. It hurts the American people.
Hurts our country.
It hurts the country. I always tell people most great empires fall because of the vision of the people. If you look at the empire of Rome, it fell because of the vision of the people. Greece, the vision of the people. every great nation fell because of the division of the people. I mean, Britain, if you look at Britain right now, Britain is becoming a more divided nation, but Britain fell from being the powerhouse because they became divided.
Right.
The thing that made America so great is that, yeah, we were kind of divided, but we were willing to work together
Right.
for the betterment of our country. Now we're seeing just a divisiveness in not just the people, but the media, the way things are spent by the media. Anything is seen as a problem that this administration puts out before they can even put it out. Well, maybe if you weren't so busy trying to resist and possibly just go and work, we could see
Some good things coming in.
come out. But again, I can't fault the left for that, because it's been that way since the last 2 years of President Bush. Even on our side of the spectrum, where we had members of our party who did the same thing under our previous president. So I think right now what's happening is it happened to our previous president. So the left right now is like, well, we're going to do the same thing that you did to us. And I'm like, that didn't help us at all the last 8 years, because our country is in a much worse state than it was 8 years ago because of the divisiveness. If anything, we should have learned from that and said, well, you may have done that, but we're going to be the bigger people.
Right.
Or as politicians that are working for constituents, I'm going to be the bigger person. We talked about the death of the moderate Republican and the moderate Democrat.
Yes, we were talking about that earlier.
Is the main underlying faction. We both said that at one point in time, Republicans and Democrats were able to come to the table and work together. And I think the reason why we don't have that anymore, the reason why this ban is become so politicized, and it's politicized and not even thought about as this is what's best for our country.
Right.
Because right now, I think we do need to halt immigration, period, into our country from everywhere. Because
Everywhere.
right now we have our own issues that we need to fix.
Right.
We have a deficit. We have American people who have no jobs. Who can't
We have
work.
healthcare
We have
issues.
healthcare issues. So right now, I hate to say it, but this is a time where we kind of need to just look at ourselves as a country and not worry about trying to help other people. We can't help Syrian immigrants. We can't help Cuban immigrants right now, because we have Cubans in America who are Cuban American who can't find jobs. We have Hispanic Latino Americans who can't help.
That's right.
Help because they can't find jobs.
We have homeless veterans.
Homeless veterans.
We got veterans who are committing suicide because they can't even get medical help.
Exactly. And
We have so many issues here in our country.
I have two grandfathers who are veterans. Who one right now has his own health issues. That if it was for him having some type of money to get help, if he had to depend, if both of them had to depend on the VA, they would be screwed right now.
Yeah.
Just because so much of our health care, so much of our tax dollar paying money is going to people who haven't even put into paying taxes. Like you always say, our veterans should be our between our veterans, our children,
Yes. And our seniors, our elderly.
It should be the
Priorities.
be the main priorities. Because me as a working, I would say middle class single American with a great job, I don't need the government.
Y'all know
to
he
take care
just
of me.
said single, right? I'm just putting it out there. Informa America, he's just reminding you out there all over the country that he's a single male, okay? I just wanted to point that out, Dean.
For me, I feel like I don't need the government to take care of me right now, because I should be able to take care of myself. I have stable legs, I have stable arms, I have a stable mind to get myself out there and work. And I think if more Americans were like that, we would be able to take care of the elderly, the people that put into the system, the baby boomers basically, who put into the system since they were able to work. Because we have to remember, many of them didn't get the help from the government. They had to go out and work. in
Right.
order to take care of themselves. They
Right.
get into it. So they should right now be able to go to a doctor and get the help that they need. Our veterans who fought for us, for this nation, who had their legs blown off,
That's
or
right.
had an arm blown off, or have PTSD.
Yep, there's a lot of them suffering on that. Yeah.
Exactly. I have a veteran friend who's maybe 2 years younger than me, and he has PTSD, but he still works. He still gets medication, but I feel like if there comes a time when something happens to him, because right now him being in Iraq and him being in Afghanistan, that really affected his way of life.
Yeah, his mind,
His mindset.
his thinking, the things that he saw or experienced.
I mean, we went out for New Year's to have a good turn up. We had to leave the New Year's party
That's
in
so
South
sad.
Beach because we couldn't hear the fireworks because
Oh,
he instantly
yeah.
went back to thinking
Yeah.
somebody was blowing something up.
Oh my gosh, that's
So,
sad.
I love the vets. I
Yeah.
love the people that fought for our country. I didn't have the luxury of fighting or going into the military. My granddads didn't want me to because they saw what they saw what the vets were going through. It was like, go to school,
Yeah,
go get an education. You can fight for them. Go fight for them.
yeah.
You don't have to fight for the country, but you can fight for the
But
people that
fought for the country. That's good advice.
So that's how I see it right now when it comes to the travel ban and how it connects to the American people and the American citizens. I think the travel ban has a good opportunity for us to kind of look at ourselves as a nation of people and fix our own internal issues before we try to bring other people in
I agree with you.
to our nation.
I agree
right
with
now,
you.
everybody always goes back to the whole thought process of, well, nobody here was born here. Nobody's ancestors were here except for the Native Americans, which is understandable. But we have to remember, nobody in any country was there at that time.
Yeah.
At that time, everybody
Yeah.
migrated, but once they became a stable nation, there became laws.
Right.
And we have to follow laws right now.
That's right.
Without law, it's no civility.
Yep.
Every great civilization had laws.
Everyone.
Everyone. Every
Even
nation.
back to the day of Jesus, walking the street, they told
And I tell
people had to pay Caesar.
Native Americans had laws.
Yeah, they did.
Okay? If we think about the Iroquois nations who had the 13 tribes who wouldn't go to war unless every tribal leader decided we're going to war.
Yeah.
That's law.
They had
That
to
was
vote
law.
on. Yeah, they had to vote on it and agree in it.
Exactly. So right now we have a travel ban. Perfect. Now Congress, let's put some laws together to make sure that we can uphold this travel ban, or we can make the travel ban better. Let's put a law into place.
Right.
If you don't like what's going on, let's work on it. That's why we are America. We're not dictated by one person. The president just has the power to put something into place for now. If you want to see change, or you want to see it better, get your congressional leaders into it. Go talk to them and tell them, okay, well, I'm not liking the ban right now, but how can we fix it to make it better?
Right.
How can we put a law into place? That's what makes America different from a lot of the nations that we always go fighting against.
Yep.
We don't have a king. We have a president that we voted to. That means that the American people voted for this person.
Awesome. All right, we're back now on Informa America on Silence with Dean. We've just moved locations so we could kind of shut off a lot of the back noise with the people driving back and forth on the freeway and all that good stuff. But I just wanted to talk to Dean here about his involvement in the MLK. And I want him to tell you what exactly he does for MLK, how to find him, how to reach him if you want to get involved. So let's tell my audience a little bit about what you do.
Well, MLK Association, we are a up-and-coming organization. We're actually one of the auxiliary organizations for the Republican Party of Texas. We're actually starting to look into expanding into different states. We have a couple of other states that have black conservatives or black Republicans who want to challenge the mindset of our community. And when I say challenge the mindset of our community, meaning give them another option. being that our community is so polarized in one party. I always tell people the thing that I love about the Hispanic community is that they're not a monolith. It's not, or I'm Hispanic so I'm a Republican. You have Hispanics who are Republican, Democrat, and Independent. And that gives them a lot more leeway in the Hispanic community when it comes to both political parties. Both political parties sees value in them because it's like, just because you're black, you're Hispanic, doesn't mean I'm going to vote for you. I want to know what you're going to do for our community. And that's the issue with the black community. So that's what we're working on right now, is getting into the community and letting them see that conservatism isn't as bad. And listening to the media, mainstream media doesn't always work out best for our community, because we have to remember the mainstream media was the very same. This is the very same media back in the 80s and the 90s that classified us as gang members and
oh my god, I forgot about that. That's right.
And that's why I always tell, I'm like, the fact that,
well, if you back then you were black or Hispanic, you were automatically a gang member.
Exactly.
If you were walking with your friends, 2 or 3 more people, you were a gang.
You're a gang member. And I'm like, this is the same media that ostracized the Hispanic and African American community. So I'm like, we don't have the luxury of really listening to them, because we know the damages that the mainstream media did to our community. We know that in the MLK Association, that African Americans, what they want to see is they want to see change in their communities. Whether they shout it out or not, we know that change is what they want to see, because for the last 40, 50 years, they've seen the same thing come out, where we get a politician to come into our community during election season, and then we don't get anything from them. And
you don't see them ever again.
Exactly.
See, that's the way the Hispanics are feeling too, Dean. Hispanics are also, to that point where we're tired of getting pandered by the Democrat Party.
Correct.
And some of our communities have been led by Democrats for 50, 60, 70, 100 years now. And you see them still living in poverty. And they haven't made any advancements. The education isn't any better. And our Hispanics do understand that. And like you said, there is independent, Republican, but the majority of our Hispanics are still in the dark. They don't really know. They think that the Republican Party is white people, rich white people. And as me and you are here, I don't know about you, but I don't look white, and I know you don't look white, and I know neither one of us is rich. So, so I know that, we don't fit that mold.
Correct.
And there's many more others like us.
Correct.
So that's, I think, our important thing is about education and awareness. And I'm happy that you, for, doing what you're doing with MLK is kind of the same thing that we're doing, through my organization, Latinos for Trump and Informa America. We're just utilizing all the voices that we can to really bring out messages.
And see, the difference that we are going to make in MLK is that MLK is all about engaging the black community and not just going into it. We're about engaging it. Right now we just left Generation 1, which is a charter school. Well, it's a charter school, it's a charter program in the 3rd Ward, which is one of the lower income places in Houston. Generation 1, we brought forth during Juneteenth, we brought forth a bunch of Republican congressmen, senators, precinct chairs. We had the party chairman and the party chairwoman there just to see what MLK wanted them to see. That this is an organization that's all about building the African American community from youth. And if we as a party would get in and help these people, they can see that, because we always feel like the reason why the way to change the mindset of people when it comes to Republican Party is to get into that community.
Yeah. That's what the Hispanics are asking us too.
Right.
Where have y'all been? Where are y'all? How come you don't come into our communities? How come you don't come to our festivals or our events or anything that we hold? How come we don't ever see the politicians?
Exactly.
We only see the Democrats. That's it. Like, the Republicans haven't done a very good job about going into our communities. And so that's really important, that the work that you're doing again, it's just really awesome. So, one of the other things I wanted to ask you about, so if somebody wanted to get involved, where can they find you on it for MLK and let them know.
Okay, well,
you know,
on Facebook we have the MLK Association of Texas. If you go on Facebook and type in MLK Association of Texas, it takes you straight to our page, and on that page it pretty much shows you all of the stuff that we're doing, the moves that we're making. Just like the page, and you'll always see how the MLK Association, or what we're working on in the MLK Association right now. We are also partnering. We just had a sit down talk with a bunch of the I guess you can call them the community leaders in the church, a bunch of pastors, just asking them, what do you need? What do you need? Not going in and saying, this is what you need to do. We're asking, what do you need? So you can definitely find us on MLK Association of Texas. You can find me on Facebook, Dean Rosier Snell, or Dean Rosier Snell on Facebook.
awesome.
I'm pretty, I guess you can say, popular a little bit.
He's a little popular. Listen to him. He's so hilarious. Dean is awesome. He's got a lot of energy. He's going out there and doing what everybody really needs to be doing in their communities. We need more of Deans, just like we need more of me. We need more of us.
Right.
We need more people who are just a little active. And not everybody has the energy that we do. But you know what? If we don't do it, nobody else is.
Right.
And, there just comes to a time where you have to question yourself on whether our country is worth us, like we were talking about earlier, even if you didn't go to war and join the military, but you're still over here fighting for a cause and fighting for those who can't fight for themselves. And that's really important to me in the Hispanic community is starting to identify and give people the empowerment that they can speak up, that, that they can say something, that they can be a voice for their community, that they, we all have issues, we all have problems, we all have needs, we all have, positives and negatives, but the thing is to put them out there and to make sure that others, that we share information so that others know, education and awareness, I think, is the biggest thing. So I really appreciate that. So I thank you for all that you're doing with MLK. And so there's another last thing that I want you to tell my audience too about what you've been working on.
The conservative millennials, we will be hosting a 4th of July pub crawl. The beauty about the conservative millennials is that we're a little different from our Generation Xers and our baby boomers, because we're that.
Gee, thanks.
We have some Generation Xers as well, because millennials, we like to kind of bring people together. So that's what we're going to be doing with the 4th of July pub crawl. We're going to be honoring some veterans who fought for our country.
Awesome.
We're going to be honoring the police who protect us here in-house, as well as those who work on Border Patrol. So we're looking at people that protect us, or we're honoring people that protect us internationally and back at home.
That's awesome.
While also giving the community a good time, because we all know that millennials like to have a good time.
That's right. Hey, I don't know if I'm a Generation X or what, but I like to have a good time. So, I'm always out and about and doing all that. Tell my audience where this is going to be held, Dean. If they wanted to go, want to get involved, where can they go?
You can go on, it's 4th of July, and it's in Midtown. We'll be kind of getting started around 3 or 4, and it's going to be for a couple of hours until about 8 o'clock. 4 hours to kind of just go around to different pubs. You can find this information if you want to be. You can go onto Millennial Conservatives. That's our web page.
Oh, okay, that's our web page. Okay.
On Facebook.
Okay. That's a closed group, though.
That's a closed group.
Yeah,
you can find it.
But they also got the American Millennials.
American Millennials. So if you look at the American Millennials, which I think is a more open group,
it's a more open group.
We'll be posting in that group, the American Millennials, as to the pubs that we'll be hosting the pub crawl, where you can meet us at to kind of sign up. The time, again, that's 4th of July weekend, and I'm actually the communications person for that group as well. So
they just got you working all over the place.
They have me, I work, and I don't mind because it's for the betterment of Houston.
Thank
We're trying
you.
to make sure that Houston is, Houston is represented by people that work for Houston.
Right.
For the
Good.
people of Houston.
Good.
So we're getting our name out there, so that you guys can see that, conservative millennials like to have just as much fun as liberal millennials. And you don't even, we're that group that we don't look like what everybody expects Republicans to look like. If you come to one of our meetings, you'll see Asian Americans.
Yep.
You'll see Black Americans. We have Indian American.
Yep.
Indian American conservatives.
And a lot of Hispanics.
Yes, a lot of Hispanics. Black and Hispanics.
Black Hispanics.
It's a beautiful group. It shows you where the Republican Party is headed.
And the true diversity within our party. Because we're like-minded people who really have a passion and care about our country, and we've come together, under that umbrella with the Republican Party, because that's the only party right now that we can identify with that holds the same values that we do. So, so it's really cool to see that. And, here in Harris County, it's I think what's cool for us is that our leadership and our county chairman and people have been so supportive of what we're doing.
Exactly. The county chairman, the party chairman, the city councilmen who are Republican, and the fact that we have so many business owners that are that were willing to just open up their doors for us and allow us to kind of have this event in their
territory,
in
turf,
territory on the turf in their business.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a great opportunity for you guys who may not even understand what it means to be conservative, or may have a different look at conservatism, to come out and ask us, over a drink or two.
Yeah.
What is what are we
or six or five, by the time you get to the third, fourth bar, you might have had too many. And so,
because we all know people love to fellowship, and when there's we call it libations in the African American community. When there's libations involved, people you talk and you feel like I can talk to this person.
Right.
We kind of gotten away from that whole standpoint in politics, where I can sit down and have a beer with this person and we can talk politics and talk about what what's bothering you in your community and what we can do to fix it. Right.
That's good to know. Thank you for all that you're doing.
No problem.
As we talked about, you're very involved, MLK, very involved with a conservative millennial movement, and they have branded themselves or named themselves as American Millennials.
Right.
They also can be found on Facebook.
At American Millennials.
At American Millennials. They also have a YouTube channel, don't they?
Yes.
That a group of you will eventually, you set it up so that you eventually can, as you organize yourselves, you all will be able to push information and
so that people can get our side and not have to depend on a third person who probably has no idea of what we're doing or what we're about, so you can hear it from the horse's mouth, because a lot of the times people get information from a third party instead of coming to the horse. So we have our own YouTube channel that we're going to be laying out,
funneling through your own videos,
information, so that you guys can see what we're doing and what we're about and how we're willing to help out.
I hope we see some videos from the 4th of July.
Yeah, just get on that. If you get in the American Millennial group, we'll definitely be posting videos and pictures of things that we are, of the event and things that we'll be having after the event. This is our first one.
That's awesome.
We're all really excited, and as you know, Bianca, is that we've worked really hard to put this.
You have extremely
a lot of manpower, a lot of hours, a lot of free hours.
Free hours, yes. That's a key word. Is that you guys are doing this on a volunteer basis. No one is paying y'all. And at the end of the day, y'all are not asking for anybody to pay you. You're really doing it for a good cause. You're doing it because you care about our city. You care about our county. You care that people are getting the right information. What we call raw. It comes from the horse's mouth, like you said, instead of someone else taking what we said and turning it around. Then by the time it gets to the 5th, 6th person, it's no longer what you really said.
millennial group is that none of us all have the same viewpoints. Like, we don't have everything alike.
Right.
But there's that one thing that kind of brings us all together, and that's being a conservative. And the problem is that on these college campuses and within the youth groups that are out there, is that they don't people like us don't have a voice, or they didn't have a voice prior to this group. It's like, I gotta be quiet because I don't want them to kind of like attack me, because I may be the only person that thinks like this. In all actuality, there's many people who think in a conservative mindset. They just don't have a place to kind of like outlet. Yeah, an outlet,
and that's important. But I think the bottom line too, Dean, is that it's not just about being conservative. It's about being a patriotic American.
Yeah.
Because I think in working with the millennial group and all of y'all throughout this past 3-4 months, what I see is you guys are so diverse, energetic, you care about what you're doing, you care about the causes.
Right.
And the other thing is, at the end of when you wrap up and do everything, everybody's just an American and you just love your country.
Right, no matter what.
No matter what if somebody didn't agree with you on the immigration, or somebody didn't agree with the gay or whatever, whatever some certain social issues are, at the end, it's okay. That's cool. That's and I've seen that in y'all. That's cool. That's fine. But still, there are some principles that are holding y'all and gluing y'all together.
Right.
Which is, things like God and family, community, conservative, lower taxes, deregulation. You don't want to be overregulated by a government.
I don't want to be overregulated, and I don't want the government to keep boosting up my
taxes.
I'm not tired of paying taxes. So many taxes, just tax.
And you're young and single, like you said, so you get taxed probably at a higher rate, and you have no exemptions. You have no children. You probably, may not have a home that's energy efficient and can get all these exemptions for it. So there's all kinds of plus and benefits, but when you're single, you don't have any of that. And so you're working really hard, and then you see Uncle Sam taking a big chunk of money. Yep. Watch him go. Watch his hands.
I didn't even get my check.
Like a little puppet.
It's like this, and then I get my check. It's like, oh, you just took
over.
You just took a whole check. That's that's somebody's whole.
I could have made a car payment with that. I could have gotten a better car. That's my rent that you just took out of my check.
So for me, I'm just like, okay, we need to really look at pushing taxes down for single people, just like myself, who are young. Because we're young and able-bodied now, but you don't give us the opportunity to save anything.
Right.
And
and if you think about it, you're the one that went to school.
Yes.
Got an education, put money into the education you got, and then you are the one out there working. You work 40, 50, probably 60 hours because you said you teach. So teachers, to me, don't have this 40-hour job, because you got to go home, grade papers, you got to do tests, you got to do, stay at work late because you got meetings, you got to be there earlier than the kids come in because you got other meetings. Yeah. So you guys really, and you don't get paid for all of that. And then to only get paid so much, and then at the end you get this huge chunk taken out of your taxes, and then you go home and you got to pay rent, and then you got to pay more taxes because the rent's higher because they're taxing you there. Then every time you go to the gas station, you buy groceries, more taxes there. It's everywhere you go. It's tax.
Because Humble just raised a lot of the property tax around here about 3%. So,
that's crazy.
So a lot of people who last year were paying a cheaper price for their rent, this year saw their rent go up about $100, $150.
And when you're on a budget, sometimes that $100 counts.
Every penny counts.
Yeah. So that is where I think that millennials and, people your age can identify with the conservative movement, because you don't want somebody telling you they want to take your money and share it with everybody else.
That's one of the biggest things that we're pushing for people to understand, is that, you know, yeah, we're conservative, but we're conservative because we know what you go through. We know that you went to college. We know that you have to pay back Sally Mae. And at the same time, pay back Sally Mae.
And Sally Mae is not your aunt.
She's not. She's not giving you something, and then you don't have to worry about paying her back. She's coming back. She's coming back 2 times for what I gave you $10,000. I want $15,000 back from.
Yeah.
And she expects it to be paid. So on top of that, and trying to become independent from your parents is really hard. I think we always talk about in the millennial group, or we talk about millennials, how a lot of millennials are still kind of like living with their parents just because
can't afford to move out.
Because every time you look around, a new tax is coming.
So. That's what I think is so unique about y'all, is that you all, like I said, may not agree on every single issue, but you do have common ground.
Correct.
And most millennials that are in your group obviously have jobs.
Correct.
You know, they're not just people just freeloading off and have nothing else to do. Because Republicans are known to work. We work. It doesn't matter what we do.
We have business owners. We have educators. We have people that work in restaurants and bars, realtors. So these are young people with investors. These are people with jobs. Like, you know, we're not looking for a handout in this group. All we want to do is make it better for us, and so that when we start families, or if we already have families, it's better for them. We're trying to get back to that portion of America where if you were 30 years old, you had $2,000, you could have put that $2,000 towards a car or towards a house and started a family. Back to the time when, you know, property value wasn't, you know, weren't paying $500,000 to going into extreme debt just to get a house. I look at my grandmother's generation where they were able to, you know, get a house and
they lived in it forever, and they paid it off, and they free own it. You know, most of them free own it. Nowadays,
you have to go through a bank.
You have to go through a bank,
a loan,
and then with all the what is it called? Not taxes, but interest. Yeah.
The interest is, I'll tell you, the interest is what kills people. That's the thing that has people paying off on things for a long period of time. I think we as a society have allowed big businesses and just and just different insurance companies to just rape us as a people.
Yep.
So that's what we look at in the millennial group as well, is that we're looking at generations before us who had so many opportunities to do stuff, and
that we just don't have anymore.
We just don't have. Like millennials are the most educated group of most educated generation, period, to ever come to ever live in American society. Yet we see so many who are unable to just fend for themselves.
Right.
That's what we want to get back to.
Well, I just want to thank you, Dean, again for being on Informa America TV today.
No problem.
I think our session is almost over here. So again, y'all can find Dean on Facebook. You can find American Millennials. You can find MLK of Texas. So go and, you know, look him up, hit him up, whatever you would tag him, whatever, you know, the whole thing. And he can get you situated if you want to get involved with the millennial movement here in Harris County, or if you want to get involved in the state of Texas with MLK. So thank you, Dean.
No problem.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you guys for having me.
Los latinos están con Tron para una mejor nación. El cambio ya llegó y ya llegó con Tron. El cambio ya llegó y ya llegó con Tron. El cambio ya llegó y ya llegó con Tron. El cambio ya llegó y ya llegó con Tron.